Hi guys, so I decided to do this interview with TJ because I'm really interested in how the mind works, how the body works, and how we can relax and meditate. She used to be my yoga teacher at college, and so she introduced me to yoga, and I thought it was fascinating how you could manage to clear your mind, but not feel like it's really difficult to do. It was really fun, and I still really like yoga. I still do it at home. And I'd really like to go to some sessions when they're back on, so that'd be really good. And I thought this would work really, really well for Self Care Week. I thought, Self Care Week, yoga. It just came straight into my head. I thought, this is a great opportunity to show you guys all about yoga and to take you on a journey with me. So before we get right into the video, so you've got to hold your excitement back just a little bit longer. It's not going to be long, just a quick thing. There's loads of books about yoga, and there's a Libby app. So Libby is it's an ebook service. So if you want to just have a book to read, but not a physical book, you just want to have a quick look, have a quick read, Libby, right? Don't have to pay. As long as you're a library member, just use your library card number and use your PIN. If you don't know your PIN, please get in contact with us and we'll help you straight away. So Libby app has loads of good yoga videos on there, yoga books on there, and the library has loads, and not just yoga, self-care. There's absolutely loads. So I was spot for choice when I went down. And there's also lots of different things on our website, so at Kirklees Libraries. So that's got quite a bit of information on there. And if you like what I'm doing, I've got my own webpage. Well, me and Ambreen have made our apprenticeship journey page because I'm an apprentice. If you didn't know already, hi, I'm Hannah. And without further ado, sorry for the wait. Let's get off.
Hello everyone, today I'm here with TJ, who used to be my yoga teacher at college. Not to forget that we have lots of books at the library that are all about yoga, so bob down to your local library and pick out a book. So, would you like to introduce yourself, TJ?
Yeah, so yes, I used to work at New College. I was actually a teacher at New College and then just kind of brought my yoga into my teaching there. And that's where I met Hannah, who used to come every lunchtime, once a week. I can't even remember what day of the week, but you were there religiously. So thank you for inviting me on, Hannah.
Yeah, you're welcome. It's a pleasure to have you here. So, can you tell us why you chose to take up yoga?
Well, I didn't really have a choice initially. I was 8 when I used to go along to my mum's yoga class in the village and play at the back with my friend and do a few poses. And of course, at 8, you're really, really bendy. And so people used to say, "Oh, you're really good at yoga." And so I kind of did it then. And then just done little bits throughout my life, kind of dipped in and out of it. And then sort of got into teaching about 12 years ago.
Yeah.
So yeah, and I suppose just from doing it from a young age, I've always been quite fascinated by it, I would say.
Yeah, how did you find out about it? Because 8's quite a young age to know about yoga.
Yeah, exactly. Well, my mum's friend was a yoga teacher, which was quite unusual in the 70s because yoga was quite a new thing in the West then. Like it's everywhere now, and it's fantastic that it's everywhere now. But at the time, it was kind of what is yoga and all of this, and it was very much leotards and tights in those days. So yeah, it was just in our village, and that's how it was. That's just kind of always been part of
Yeah.
my life, I suppose.
So, what are the benefits of yoga?
Oh, where do I start? Oh my gosh. Everything. Absolutely. I can't even. Right. So, physical, mental, emotional, massive. Physical benefits are quite obvious because you can feel them as you are doing the poses. So in yoga, I'm sure people have heard about yoga and stuff, but in yoga we call each different stretch that we do, we call that a pose or a posture. And each posture stretches different parts of the body. And so this is extremely good physically. It's good for physical strength, it's good for physical health, it's good for the bones and the muscles and the joints and all of those things. It's also really good for physical health in terms of boosting the immune system, good for the nervous system. All of the body systems benefit from the different poses that you do in yoga. So it's a good all-round physical physical activity. But then also the mental and emotional benefits are huge as well, which I'm sure you found when you were at college.
Yeah.
How did you find when you'd done a yoga class at college? How did you feel afterwards?
I felt quite refreshed. Like when I first did it, I didn't realise not tense or stressed I was, but after I'd done it, I thought I feel so much like more reborn.
Yeah,
It felt
yeah.
like, yeah, the first time I did it, it felt quite strange. Fun experience.
Yeah, exactly. Well, I suppose that's a good way of putting it, really. You don't actually realise until you do a yoga class how tight you were before.
Yeah,
Tight's quite a good word to use because you can feel as you go through your yoga class, you can kind of like feel tension leaving you, and you can feel calmer. And depending on what kind of class you do, and obviously you can do classes to boost your energy levels, you can do classes to help you sleep, you can do classes for pretty much everything, but one of the key things, and I think this is really important for young people as in, like, college, university, school age children, one of the key things is how good it is for mental health. I have worked with a lot of males, a lot of footballers who are around about this age. So I've worked at different football clubs, and the boys there, because it is boys there, the boys, when we do the shavasana at the end, shavasana is the pose where you lie down for kind of
yeah,
like the last 10 minutes of the class. And when we do that pose at the end, you can almost visually appreciate how much they're getting from it, even though you kind of just lie down, you can see them just totally relaxing into it. And actually this opportunity that you have in your shavasana at the end of the class to relax while you're awake is quite unusual in our Western society, because usually, kind of in our Western society, we're either asleep or we're busy. Yeah, we might be sitting down relaxing at the end of the day, reading, watching TV, or doing some leisure activity. But actually to lie down and be awake is quite a treat for the physical body. So that, in terms of like going back to your question of how what the benefits of yoga, for me that's massive. Even if it's only for a couple of minutes, just to be able to do that while you're awake, and just lie down and relax everything, it's huge, really.
yeah. Because at the start we used to do some like meditating, didn't we? Like
Yeah,
meditation at the start, and it always felt really difficult to just switch off completely. But I've been doing it quite recently, and I feel like it's working. 'Cause it's got a weird sensation to it, and I was like, "Am I doing this right? Is this what it's meant to feel like?" How would you explain that? What meditation feels like?
yeah, that's a really good question. First of all, there's no right and wrong. Like, we're as different on the inside as we are facially. So, like, everyone's got a different face, haven't they? Which is mind blowing when you think about, the billions of faces in the world. We've all got a different face, and we're all as different on the inside. So there's no right way to meditate. There's ways that you can improve your meditation. So when you first close your eyes, for example, I'm just going to do it now so I can talk to it. When you first close your eyes, like, there's so much busyness. There's
Yeah,
so much stuff going through your head. And then as you start to bring your focus, let's just say, on your breath. So that's one of the best things to come to, because you've always got it. If you're not breathing, you're not here, let's face it. So you bring your focus to your breath, and that just allows your focus to go from the outside to the inside. And so this first part of meditation, it's just really about that moving from being busy and thinking and doing to just coming inside and just having a look at how things are. And it's absolutely not about, being able to quieten your thoughts and shut them off, because that's really, really hard to do. And it's not about that. It's not about, right, I'm just going to control everything and shut everything, and I just need to be 20 minutes where I just don't think about anything. That very, very rarely happens.
Yeah.
But it is about being able to close your eyes, come to your breath, and just observe how things are. So you can just have a look. You can have a look with your eyes closed, have a look at your body. And once your eyes are closed, you can maybe have a look at the bits of your body that feel quite tense, or the bits of your body that feel as though they, are able to release with your breath. So it's just really finding. I don't know. If I was to give any advice to anybody who wanted to do meditation, it'd just be to find a couple of minutes where you can close your eyes and just come to your breath. That's the best
Yeah.
time. No.
Because I thought that the harder you try to meditate, the it's harder. When you try and think, right, I need to meditate, it's harder to do it. Whereas if you think of something, you end up meditating. I feel like your brain does the opposite of what you're trying to do.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's weird.
Do you still meditate now?
Yeah, I mean, when I left college, it was quite difficult at college, wasn't it? Because there was a lot going on.
Yeah.
And we couldn't get in.
Let's just tell it. We'll put the story straight. So quite often there was me and Hannah and maybe like one or two other students, and because of it was a lunchtime session, and because of the busyness, I suppose, of college, we would never be able to find a space, so we would have to go into a classroom with shift desks around. We'd have our mats, like sometimes we didn't even have any equipment because of the circumstances, but we'd shift desks around, and then one way or another we would find a way of doing some kind of meditation and some kind of yoga. So Hannah, you were really dedicated, I have to say. You did so well. You just kept showing up, even though you have to come and move a desk, and so it must have worked for you.
Yeah, I did enjoy it, and I taught my mum and dad how to do it as well.
Did you?
Yeah, we do it at home, and I made a recording as well. My mum made a recording as well too. So we knew what we were doing, because it was hard trying to do it all at the same time. So
that's fab. That's so
yeah.
good. So as a yoga teacher, that's what you love to hear, that people just go off and do their yoga and share it, and do kind of their, like, just do it beyond actually doing it in the class.
Yeah. What was your favourite pose?
Okay. It's probably got to be this, right? There's loads of different poses that you come to for different reasons. So for example, I've got probably 5 go-to poses. One that I know, if I'm feeling like overwhelmed and like, my head's just too busy, I'll go to that one. If I'm feeling like I need to pick myself up and lift a bit of energy, I'll go to that one. But my ultimate, the one that I pretty much go to for anything, is called Ardha Chandrasana, which translates. So that yoga has Sanskrit names because it originated in India, and the Sanskrit name Ardha Chandrasana, it translates to half moon pose. I'll just show you a quick version. So basically, it's kind of where you do this. You can't even really see me that well. You do this, open up, and then you lift up your upper arm like that. So you kind of like standing with one arm pointing upwards, one arm going that way, one leg going that way, one leg down to the floor. So it kind of like looks a bit of a cross. Look it up, half moon pose, it's good. And that one I can come to at any time, and it pretty much sorts me out, really.
Yeah. I thought you'd pick downward dog. We were always doing that one.
Always doing down dog. Actually, yeah, when you're saying that, the beauty of down dog, I do a down dog every morning as soon as I get out of bed. Beauty of down dog is it's a warm-up pose. It's a hard-working main body of a pose, and it's a restorative pose, which basically means you can bring down dog into any point of a yoga class. It's great for you to get your body into it. It's great for you to challenge your body to, with physical strength. And then it's really good because it's an inversion, which means you're upside down, your head's upside down.
Yeah.
It's great to bring everything down at the end of the class. So yeah, that's got to be up there as well, actually, Hannah.
Yeah. So as well as doing yoga, do you have a balanced diet? What sort of diet do you have?
Yeah, my diet is pretty good, actually, I have to say. And that's more not. I came into that more from how I feel on the inside from eating, rather than how I look physically.
Yeah.
And actually, that when you come to a diet for that reason, that's when it really starts to change. So like a lot of us kind of eat well because we know if we eat too much, we'll put on weight, and we don't like how that makes us look. So that's a thing, isn't it? That is a big thing. And actually, when you come to it from a different angle, like actually when I eat good stuff, I feel so much better.
Yeah.
You do then start to eat for those reasons, and weirdly your body just benefits anyway, so you end up
Yeah.
you don't put any weight on, you end up having this nice balanced diet, and so your physical body ends up benefiting from it in the long
Yeah.
run. So my diet is, I'm pretty much vegan, but I don't kind of shout from the rooftop so I'm vegan and all this, because let's say if I'm out at the moment, if that's even a thing, and I want to have some pizza, I'll have a pizza. I won't have meat. I don't eat meat or fish, but if I want pizza and there's cheese on it, I'll eat that. I won't kind of say, oh no, I can't have that because I'm vegan.
Yeah.
But I don't really eat dairy, so milk doesn't agree with me very much. But yeah, loads of nuts, loads of fruit, loads of veg, loads of pulses, and all this sounds really boring. But when you actually convert to it and you relearn how to cook, it becomes, and I know it's a bit of a cliche, but it becomes so tasty, and you learn different flavors, and you learn how to cook with things like miso paste and I don't know, I can't even think. You just get loads of new
Yeah.
ideas of cooking. So, and you can still
Yeah.
have eat stuff. So I don't eat sugar. I don't eat refined sugar, but I eat like the healthy sugars. So maple syrup, and so you can still eat loads of sweet stuff. But anyway, that I don't want to harp on too much about that. But yeah, have a look at a few different things that you could do with your diet from a health perspective, like as in mental health, to improve it, and you'll start benefiting from it physically. That would be my advice.
Yeah, I mean, I like cooking, and I have like a kind of like you said, like a mindful diet. Like, think, am I hungry? If I'm hungry, I'm eat. Whereas I don't go by what I look like. I've started to
Yeah,
go by what I feel like.
brilliant. What do you like to cook, Hannah?
I like doing chilies. Vegetarian chilies quite good. I like doing curries. So yeah, a
Oh,
mix of things.
awesome.
So as well as yoga, do you have any other hobbies like swimming, walking, anything like that?
I do a lot of running. I love running, and we're quite lucky around here, aren't we? I don't know, is this going out nationally, or is it just going out in West Yorkshire, or?
It's just going to be going onto our YouTube, on our Twitter, Instagram, everywhere, so everyone will see it.
Everyone will see it. So yeah, well, basically where we are in West Yorkshire, if you're not from around this area, we've got some amazing hills, and so running's quite tough, but also it's really good views everywhere. You can pretty much go anywhere around here and see hills and trees, and
Yeah,
I kind of just love running to them. And I also do a lot of walking. We got a pup in lockdown, and he is such good fun, and he loves exploring as well. So I do quite a lot of walking with him. So yeah, they're my hobbies really.
yeah. When you started at college, how did you get involved with it? Did they contact you, or did you volunteer to help out with the sessions?
Well, because I was already working at college, so I taught in health and social care at college, and I was a full-time teacher there. And actually, it kind of yoga, it was introduced into my health and social care lessons almost by default, really. So one of the things I taught on health and social care was complementary therapies and physical and mental well-being. So one of the things we needed to look at as part of the curriculum was yoga, and meditation. So I started bringing that into the class, and some students then started saying, well, I'm getting a lot from this. Is there anywhere else we can do it, at college? So I then said, well, I'll put a session on. So the wellbeing team, the student and staff wellbeing team at college are brilliant, and they were really
Yeah.
keen to promote anything else. So I got involved in that team, and then we just started putting on the yoga classes. So yeah, it worked well.
Yeah. Have we had any new people joining since I left then? Is there more than when I was there?
Well, what actually happened when I left college, so I don't teach full time at college anymore. I left New College to then basically do yoga full time. Yoga, I do also Reiki healing and meditation. When I left there, I then my role changed. I'm still involved at New College to do yoga, but it's more to actually go back into the classrooms and teach it. So
Yeah.
teach the benefits of it and teach, we'll do actually a yoga session, but then I'll run through the benefits. So there's a class full of people, but it's not like a lunchtime activity anymore.
So how can we get involved with yoga?
Wow. Search it up in your local area. Find a teacher in your local area. So where we are, I mean, at the moment it's lockdown, but hey, we're still going for it online. There's still loads of online yoga that you can do, and you can do it with a teacher. So my recommendation would be, if you want to do yoga, find a teacher that you like locally. And I don't mean that like, I mean, some people will prefer other styles of yoga. There's loads of different types of yoga. There's flowing yoga, there's yin yoga, there's hot yoga. There's so many different types of yoga. So find a yoga that you like. Find a teacher that you kind of gel with, and join a yoga class. And I would say this, I mean, yeah, there's loads of yoga on YouTube and some brilliant ones to do on YouTube. When you actually have a teacher, you get to know your teacher gets to know you, and they will, as a teacher, I see students developing. I'll see them. In fact, Hannah, that's the best part of my job. Within weeks, you can see like massive improvements, and I don't just mean about how people are with the poses, because it's not about how bendy you are and how suddenly you can double over and touch your toes and all of that. Much more about like people walk into the class when they've been coming a few weeks, and you can physically see the posture is better. They're taller. They're walking. They're taller. They're physically taller. You can see it, and that's the best way to sort of describe it. And you get that by going to class. By actually attending a class. Your yoga improves so much more when you go into class. And this isn't just me saying this. This is my students that have been over lockdown when we weren't able to go into the studio. So the first lockdown, all students carried on, did it online. We got back to the studio in August, September. And they were like, oh, it's so different being in a studio to actually come and me be able to say something, because to really see them in the studio and say, all right, can you lift your thigh a bit more, or whatever I'm doing. They find the benefits so much more from being in a class. And the online is the second best. And then after that, just to fill in, once you've learnt your basics of yoga, there's loads of stuff on YouTube you can, tap into and do.
Yeah, because I know when I was at college, I was trying to get my friends to do yoga with me, and they were like, "Oh, I'm not flexible. I won't be good at it." And I'm like, "Oh, come on,
That's the
join
reason,
yoga."
because I
Yeah,
often with young people, is it because it's not done by so many people, but it's not really that common yet, or is it because of that reason that you just
I
said?
think it's I think it's because people might feel a bit embarrassed because they can't do it, and think that when you go to yoga, you go because you're good at it, but you've got to start at the beginning.
Yeah.
Yeah,
It's so one thing that you do, and then I emphasize this a lot. I know all yoga teachers emphasize this. It's absolutely about your body and about yourself, and not about anybody else in the room. And once you've been to one class, you realize that it's the least competitive thing that you could ever do. So it's not like going to play a sport where you've got to like beat the other team, or you've got to score more goals, or you've got to run faster, or you've got to do this and you've got to do that. Sport it's brilliant in itself for challenging the physical and all of that in itself. Yoga is as far away from that as you can imagine. Yeah, you get the physical benefits, but we've had this saying that you leave your ego at the door when you come in. So then you come in and you might be doing a balance and you might fall over in your balance. So what? That's because your balance isn't too good that day. That does not mean that I'm rubbish at yoga. There's no such thing as being rubbish at yoga. If you fall over in your balance, right? So what do I need to go back to? So it's all about coming inside and working that out, rather than thinking, oh no, he's balancing in his tree pose and I'm there wobbling around. And even as a teacher, sometimes I'll be teaching a class and my balance is completely off, and I'll be demonstrating a pose and I'm wobbling and I'm just not there. And doesn't mean I'm a rubbish teacher. It just means that my balance isn't quite there. And your body and your mind are all as one. And that's what we do in yoga. Yoga means union, mind, body, breath as one. And so it's not about separating them. Right, my mind is in my head and that's separate to my body. It's all, absolutely all as one. So yeah, I'm waffling. I'll stop waffling.
It's fine. Can you tell us about breathing techniques a bit more? Because I'm quite interested in how it works.
About what? Sorry, Hannah.
Breathing techniques.
Breathing techniques.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. It's called pranayama, and it's a whole. There's, let's just say, thousands of books over the years have been written about pranayama, so it's massive. It's a whole. Oh, you could learn it for years and years and years, and there's still loads to learn. Breathing, simple breathing technique is just to do abdominal breath work. So you breathe in and out of your belly. So we could do, right, and let me just show you. You can put your hands onto your belly like this, right? And up, so you know where my hands are. You put your hands into your belly and you just literally breathe into your hands. So you feel your breath moving your hands. So as you breathe in, your belly swells up. As you breathe out, it shrinks back. That is one guaranteed breathing pose that you can do at any point. You've got your belly, you can breathe into it, so you can do that, and that just brings a more depth to your breath. Quite often when we're breathing normally, we do lots of shallow breaths, which isn't great for this. Not great for this. It's just not taking in enough oxygen, not releasing enough carbon dioxide. When we do belly breathing, we take a deep breath in and we let the exhalation completely go. So all of a sudden now we've got a much better or more efficient intake of oxygen, and we've got a better release of carbon dioxide. So I'd say that's a good place to start.
Yeah. Okay, it's very interesting. Is there anything else you'd like to say, TJ, before we finish this talk?
I would say my advice to people who are thinking about taking up yoga, or even if you haven't even considered that yet, everybody has some form of anxiety. Everybody has days where they, don't feel as good as the next day. Everybody has days where sometimes actually they don't feel like getting out of bed. It's fair to say that as humans we are faced with, and some bigger challenges than others, of course. That's a whole other conversation. But I would say just to give it a go, even if it's just the breathing technique that I just mentioned before, even if it's down dog that you said, search up down dog, a quick YouTube pose of down dog. Just do that and give it a go and see how you feel after. And if you fancy giving yoga a go, ask your friends, see if they want to come along with you. If you don't want to go along to the show, obviously at the moment till lockdown December, we're hopefully back in the studio. But ask a friend, see if they want to come along and try it out. There's going to be a yoga class in your area. There's loads in Huddersfield. I do an online one. So, normally it's in a yoga studio. But if you want to post out, I won't go into it now, but if you want to post out details of my online one, that's available.
Yeah.
Actually, as well, if anyone wants to try a meditation, I've been doing a live meditation at 12:30 every day since March, every weekday on Facebook. So again, you can put this out for if it's useful for anybody that needs it. My Facebook group, you can just come onto it. I don't announce who's on it or whatever, so you can log on to it and do it, and you don't have to think, oh, who knows I'm on this or whatever. You can just log on to it, or you can do it in your own time, because it just saves on Facebook. It's usually about 10-15 minutes, and that's just a 12:30 meditation every day. And that's just, sometimes it's breathing, sometimes I might do a visualization, a little bit like we used to do at college, Hannah. So how we would start the yoga class, it's kind of a slimmed down version of that. And I kind of just started that at the start of the first lockdown because of how much it was impacting on people, and it's just been carrying on. So at the moment, I'm still doing that one.
Yeah.
And I think that's pretty much it. Unless there's anything else that you'd like to know.
I think that's everything.
Well, I think more than happy, if anybody has any questions, or if anybody has any, just anything that they want to know more about, I'm more than happy to answer any questions, so by all means, you can send me some questions through, or, just have that open, because there'll be things that people maybe want to know that we haven't discussed in the interview. So I'll be more than happy to follow that up.
Okay. Thank you for your time today, TJ.
It's an absolute pleasure, and thank you for asking me, Hannah. And I'm really pleased to hear that you're still doing your yoga.
Yeah. I'll see you all later, guys. Thank you.
Bye.
Bye.
Hi everyone, thanks for watching that video. I absolutely loved doing it. I was so excited. I'm so happy it went to plan. My first project and it worked, which is great, and it was fantastic to speak to TJ after such a long time. I mean, I left college, well, we had the funny do, didn't we, around March, but it's been great to catch up with her. So, following up from that, TJ's provided me with her Facebook page, so you can always go have a look at that, and I'm going to put it in the next, whichever way it is, got it right this time, I'm getting used to it, in the next part of the video, so keep a lookout for that, and yeah, just drop her any questions that you have. So if we haven't covered anything that you really like to know, or you want to actually have a session with TJ, feel free to contact her. I'm sure she'll put you in the right hands, because she's a lovely lady, she really is. Thanks everyone.